I never thought heartbreak could smell like vanilla cake and white roses. But there I was holding my sister's bouquet, pretending to smile when the woman who shattered me 7 years ago walked in with a camera around her neck and my name trembling on her lips. "Emily," she whispered, as if she hadn't practiced that name 1,000 times in her mind. God, I wish she hadn't. Sarah Bennett. My first love, my first kiss, my first everything, and the first person to teach me that forever is sometimes just another word for until it hurts too much. The last time I saw her was under the rain outside her dorm in Boston. She said she couldn't do this anymore, this meaning us, meaning love, meaning everything that had color in my life. She left and I thought I'd learned how to live without her. But now she's standing 10 feet away, taking photos at my sister's wedding like some cruel joke from the universe. "Emily. Over here, honey." My mother calls, breaking my frozen stare. I smile automatically, the way bridesmaids are supposed to. But inside my heart feels like it's clawing at my ribs. I try not to look at Sarah again. I fail. It's funny how time changes everything except the things you wish it would. Sarah looks older, calmer, but when our eyes meet, I swear I see that same storm we used to drown in. She tries to be professional, snapping shots of the bride and groom, laughing softly at my sister's bad jokes. But her gaze keeps drifting back to me, like a camera lens stuck on one focus. When I escape to the garden for air, she follows. Of course she does. The scent of jasmine mixes with the ache of memory. "You look different," she says carefully. "Yeah, well, 7 years will do that." I keep my voice steady, but my hands shake when I tuck a strand of hair behind my ear. She notices. She always did. "I didn't think you'd be here," she admits. "Your sister hired me last month. I didn't know she was related to me. I finish for her." Surprise. Her lips press into a thin line. That same expression she used whenever she didn't know how to say I'm sorry. "I should go," I say, but my feet don't move. "Emily, please, don't." My voice cracks. "Don't say my name like that." The silence that follows is heavy, full of all the things we never said. The day drags on in a blur of speeches, laughter, and champagne. But every time I catch Sarah's reflection in the glass, my chest tightens. She's everywhere behind the lens, in the shadows, in my head. When the first dance starts, I find myself near the bar, sipping something too strong and pretending it burns less than her. "Mind if I join?" She's beside me again, close enough that I can smell the faint scent of her perfume, the same one she wore when we were 19 and reckless. "Do you still drink bourbon?" I ask before I can stop myself. Her lips twitch. "Only when I'm nervous." I laugh, bitter and soft. "Guess you've been drinking a lot today." She doesn't deny it. When the night grows colder, we end up outside again, under the fairy lights. The music fades behind us, replaced by crickets and the soft hum of California summer. "Emily," she says quietly, "can we talk?" I shake my head. "There's nothing left to say, Sarah." "That's not true. You made it true." Her face twists, and for a moment I see the girl who once stayed up all night with me watching bad movies, who painted my nails and kissed me between laughter and tears. "I was scared," she whispers. "Back then, I didn't know how to be brave for both of us." I scoff. "You didn't even try." "I did. I just failed." The honesty in her voice cuts deeper than any lie. 7 years ago, she left because her parents found out. Because her mother said, "This isn't who you are," and Sarah believed her. She packed her bags and disappeared before I could even fight for her. I told myself she was gone for good. But standing here under the same sky, I realized something terrifying. I never stopped loving her. And that's the problem. "Emily," she says again, her voice trembling, "I never stopped thinking about you. Every photo I took, every city I went to, I saw you. I thought maybe one day I'd get a chance to explain. To tell you that I was wrong." I close my eyes. "You don't get to say that now. You don't get to come back and rewrite the ending." "But what if it's not the ending?" Her question lingers in the air like a prayer. I open my eyes and for the first time I see her, really see her. The fear, the regret, the love she's still carrying. "I don't know, Sarah," I whisper. "I don't know if I can do this again." "Then let me prove it," she says. "Let me show you I won't run this time." Her words sink into me, slow and dangerous. Later that night, when the last song plays and the guests begin to leave, Sarah finds me again. She hands me a small envelope. What's this? Something I wrote years ago. I was too much of a coward to send it. I take it, my fingers brushing hers. Feels like lightning. Good night, Emily, she says softly. And congratulations to your sister. She walks away before I can say anything, disappearing into the dark like a memory that refuses to fade. I stare at the letter for a long time before finally opening it. Inside, her handwriting curves across the paper like a heartbeat. If love was supposed to make us brave, then I failed us both. But if it's true that love never dies, maybe one day we'll find our way back to it. To each other. My tears fall onto the ink, blurring the words I never thought I'd see. And for the first time in 7 years, I let myself hope. The morning after the wedding smells like coffee and regret. Sunlight spills through the hotel curtains, warm and golden, too gentle for the chaos in my head. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her, the way she looked under the fairy lights, the way her voice cracked when she said, "What if it's not the ending?" The envelope still sits on my nightstand, folded neatly beside my phone. I read her letter again and again like a wound I can't stop touching. Part of me wants to throw it away. The other part wants to call her, scream at her, kiss her. I can't tell which one hurts more. There's a knock at the door. It's my sister's voice, soft, cautious. Come in, I say, rubbing my eyes. She slips inside wearing her husband's oversized shirt, her hair still a mess from last night. She looks ridiculously happy. Rough night, she teases gently, then frowns when she sees the look on my face. You okay? I laugh, but it comes out hollow. Define okay. She sits beside me. It's about her, isn't it? I blink. You knew. She shrugs. Mom told me a long time ago. Something about your first love in college. I didn't realize it was the photographer until I saw you two staring at each other like you'd seen a ghost. I groan, burying my face in my hands. God, was it that obvious? Sweetheart, the bride noticed, and she wasn't even sober. I can't help but laugh, but it fades fast. I thought I was over her. Maybe you were, she says softly, until she showed up and reminded you what you buried. Her words hit hard, because that's exactly what it feels like someone dug up the part of me I swore was dead. My sister squeezes my hand. Look, Em, whatever happened between you two, maybe it's time to get closure. Whether that means talking it out or slamming a door in her face, I don't know. But you deserve peace. She leaves me with that thought and a kiss on the cheek. By noon, the hotel is nearly empty. Guests have checked out, the decorations are half taken down, and the air smells faintly of roses and cleaning supplies. I wander out to the garden one last time, clutching a cup of lukewarm coffee. The grass is wet from sprinklers, sunlight flickering through the trees. And of course, because the universe has a twisted sense of humor, she's there. Sarah. Her camera bag is slung over her shoulder, and she's crouched near a rosebush, taking photos of the leftover petals scattered on the ground. For a moment, I just watch her. The way she bites her lip when she concentrates. The way her hair catches the light. It's infuriating how beautiful she still is. Finally, she turns and freezes. Emily. Sarah. We stand there like two ghosts caught between past and present. She clears her throat. I was just finishing up some shots for the wedding album. I nod. I figured. An awkward silence stretches between us. The kind that used to feel easy back when silence meant comfort. Now it feels like walking barefoot on glass. I read your letter, I say finally. Her eyes flicker with something, hope, fear, maybe both. And it was honest. That sounds bad. It's not. It's just, I sigh. It's 7 years too late. She looks down, kicking at the grass. I know. We stand there quietly for a while. Somewhere in the distance, a gardener hums a tune, the soft rhythm of pruning shears filling the silence. Finally, Sarah says, "Can I buy you lunch? Just to talk." My brain screams no, but my heart, traitor that it is, whispers yes. Fine, I say, crossing my arms. 1 hour. We end up at a small cafe near the beach, the kind with chip paint and good pancakes. Sarah orders black coffee. I order iced tea. The air smells like salt and butter, the sound of waves just outside the window. So, she starts, fidgeting with her mug. You became a writer, right? I raise an eyebrow. You've been keeping tabs? Not exactly. I just saw your name in a magazine once. The short story about the girl and the storm. That was years ago. It was beautiful, she says softly. Sad, but beautiful. I don't know how to respond to that. After a moment I ask, and you? Still taking photos? She smiles faintly. Yeah, I travel a lot. Weddings, documentaries, some gallery work. But none of it feels like home. Do you even know what home means anymore? I ask quietly. Her gaze finds mine steady and raw. I used to think it meant a place. Then I realized it was a person. Don't, I whisper. She doesn't look away. You were home, Emily. Something inside me cracks. Stop saying things like that. I snap. You don't get to come back and pretend like the last 7 years didn't happen. I'm not pretending. Her voice shakes now. I'm trying to make up for them. How? By showing up with a camera and a letter. No. By being here. By not running. The sincerity in her tone disarms me. It always did. I look out the window, blinking back the sting in my eyes. Do you know what it felt like? When you left. Yes. No, you don't. My voice rises. You disappeared, Sarah. You didn't just break up with me, you erased me. One day we were planning a trip to New York, and the next day your phone was off, your dorm empty. You didn't even say goodbye. She closes her eyes, her fingers tightening around the coffee mug. My parents found our letters. The photos. Everything. My mom said if I didn't end it, they'd cut me off college, housing, everything. And you chose them. I was 18 and terrified. So was I whisper. But I would have chosen you. Tears spill down her cheeks. I know you would have. And that's what haunted me all these years. The silence that follows is thick, suffocating. Finally, she reaches into her bag and pulls out an old photo. It's us sitting on the dorm roof, wrapped in a blanket, laughing at something I can't remember. I kept this, she says. Through every move, every new city. I kept it because it reminded me that once, I was brave enough to love you. I take the photo with trembling hands. My thumb brushes over her face, younger, freer, the version of her that didn't know how to break me yet. I wanted to hate you, I say softly. For a long time I did. But hate takes effort. Love just stays. She looks at me like she's trying to memorize my face all over again. Do you think we could start over? Sarah, this isn't a movie. I'm not asking for a movie. I'm asking for a chance. I want to say no. I really do. But the truth is, part of me wants to say yes so badly it hurts. We walk along the beach after lunch. The ocean stretches wide and endless, waves licking at the sand. Sarah kicks off her shoes, laughing when the water splashes her ankles. It's the first real laugh I've heard from her in years, and something in my chest softens. Remember when we tried to surf? She asks. Oh God, I groan. You nearly drowned, and I fell off before I even stood up. She grins. Yeah, but you looked hot doing it. I roll my eyes, but I'm smiling now. For a while it almost feels like the old days, easy, bright, full of possibility. But then she slips her hand into mine, tentative and warm, and the spell breaks. Sarah, please. Just let me hold it. For a minute. I do. Because even after everything, her hand still fits perfectly in mine. We sit on a driftwood log watching the waves crash. I thought you were happy, she says after a while. I saw pictures, friends, your book signing. You looked okay. I was okay, I admit. But okay isn't happy. Not really. She nods, understanding too well. I dated a few people, she confesses. But it never felt right. They wanted pieces of me I'd already given away. To me. She smiles sadly. To you. The wind picks up, tossing her hair across her face. I reach out before I can stop myself, brushing it back. Her breath catches. Emily, she murmurs, voice low. Tell me I don't still have a chance and I'll walk away. I stare at her, the woman who broke my heart and still owns it. I don't know, I say finally. You hurt me in ways I didn't think I could heal from. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it if you let me. Don't make promises you can't keep. She leans in slightly, close enough that I can feel the warmth of her breath. I mean it this time. I want to believe her. God, I really do. But belief and trust aren't the same thing. So I stand, brushing sand from my dress. I need time. She nods, eyes glistening. Take all you need. I'm not going anywhere. As I walk away, I hear her whisper to the wind, not again. That night, I sit on my balcony overlooking the city lights. Sarah's photo still in my hand. The moonlight makes it glow like something sacred. I think about all the years I spent trying to forget her, and how easily she stepped back into my world like no time had passed. Love is cruel that way. It doesn't ask permission to come back. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. I'm leaving town tomorrow morning. But I'll be at the pier at 8 a.m. just in case you decide you're not done with me yet. No name, but I don't need one. I close my eyes, heart pounding. 7 years ago, I let her walk away without stopping her. Tomorrow I'll find out if I've learned anything since then. The pier looks different in the morning. The air is cool, the ocean wrapped in mist, the kind of silence that feels almost holy. Seagulls circle lazily above, their cries echoing over the water. The smell of salt fills my lungs as I walk, each step heavier than the last. Sarah's message burns in my pocket like a heartbeat. 8 a.m. just in case you decide you're not done with me yet. It's 7:58. I half expect her not to be there. Some part of me thinks this is just another cruel trick from fate. But when I reach the end of the pier, I see her. She's sitting on the wooden railing, camera beside her, hair pulled back messily by the wind. She looks smaller than I remember, like time has been quietly carving pieces out of her too. When she turns and sees me, the relief on her face is immediate, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. You came, she says softly. I almost didn't. I know. I stop a few feet away. You said you were leaving. I was. My flight's at noon. But I couldn't go without saying goodbye properly this time. There it is again, that word. Goodbye. The word that broke us once. Maybe we shouldn't say it, I murmur. Every time we do, something falls apart. She smiles faintly. Then what should we say instead? I look at her, really look, and for the first time I see not the girl who left but the woman who came back. Maybe we just start with hello again. Her eyes widen slightly. Hope flickers there, tentative and bright. Hello, she says, her voice trembling. I exhale. Hi. And somehow that tiny exchange feels like forgiveness. We walk along the pier in silence for a while, our footsteps echoing against the wood. Sarah breaks it first. I thought about this moment for years. What I'd say if I ever saw you again. I rehearsed 1,000 versions of it. Let me guess, I say. Most of them ended with me forgiving you? She smiles sadly. No. Most of them ended with you hating me forever. And me deserving it. I stop walking. Why come back at all then? She meets my gaze. Because even if you hated me, I needed you to know that I never stopped loving you. That what I did wasn't because you weren't enough, it was because I wasn't. My chest tightens. She continues, voice cracking. I was weak, Emily. I let fear decide for me. I let my parents tell me who I was allowed to love. But I spent 7 years trying to undo that decision. 7 years realizing that living without you wasn't strength, it was punishment. I swallow hard, blinking away tears. And now I'm done being afraid. She takes a hesitant step closer. I don't expect you to take me back. I just need you to know that I'm here. And I'm not running this time. The wind whips around us, carrying her words into the sea. For a long moment I can't speak. Then I say quietly, you broke me, Sarah. You left me to pick up pieces you never even looked back at. I know. But you also gave me the best years of my life. And the worst heartbreak. I spent so long trying to hate you that I forgot how to forgive. Her eyes shimmer. Then maybe today can be the start of that. I nod slowly. Maybe. We sit on the edge of the pier, our legs dangling above the water. The sun finally breaks through the fog, painting everything gold. Remember that time we skipped class to watch the sunrise on the Charles River? Sarah asks suddenly. I laugh softly. You brought cold pizza and a blanket. It was freezing. And you said it was the most beautiful thing you'd ever seen. It was. Until now. She looks at me, eyes wide. I mean it, I add. Because back then I didn't know what heartbreak looked like. Now I do. And seeing you here still standing, still trying, that's somehow beautiful too. For a moment she can't breathe. Neither can I. Emily, she whispers, can I? Her hand hesitates between us. This is the moment, the line between past and future, pain and peace. I reach out slowly and take her hand. It's warm, trembling, alive. And just like that, something inside me settles. We talk for hours about everything and nothing. About the years we lost, the people we became, the things we learned in the silence between us. Sarah tells me about her travels, about photographing women's shelters in Chicago, street kids in New Orleans, sunsets in Greece. She says she kept searching for meaning, but nothing ever compared to the way it felt when I smiled behind her lens. I tell her about my stories, about how every character I wrote was just a different version of her. How I kept trying to write her out of my system and failed every time. She laughs through tears. Guess we were both haunted artists. Guess so. At one point she pulls out her camera. Can I take your picture? I hesitate. Now. She nods. I want to remember this. The day you didn't hate me anymore. I smile softly. You're assuming I don't. Do you? She asks gently. I meet her gaze. No. Not anymore. The shutter clicks. And in that instant, something shifts, a quiet release. A letting go of 7 years' worth of ghosts. When noon approaches, the sky turns bright and endless. Sarah checks her watch, then sighs. I should go. Flight's in an hour. My stomach drops. Right. She hesitates, searching my face. Say something, Emily. Anything. I can't leave on silence again. I take a deep breath. Then don't. Her brows furrow. What do you mean? Don't leave, I say, heart pounding. Stay. At least for a while. You said you weren't running this time. Prove it. The hope that flashes in her eyes is almost painful to see. You're sure? No, I admit. But maybe that's the point. Maybe love isn't about being sure, it's about choosing, even when you're scared. She laughs through a sob. You always were the brave one. Not always, I whisper. But maybe it's my turn to be now. She reaches for me, then slow, hesitant, as if afraid I'll vanish. I don't move away. When her lips touch mine, it's nothing like the past. It's softer, slower, full of years and regrets and forgiveness. Tastes like beginning again. When we finally pull apart, the tears on her cheeks are mirrored on mine. Emily, she breathes. I don't deserve this. Maybe not, I say. But neither of us deserve to live afraid anymore. She nods, eyes glistening. Then what happens now? I smile. Now we find out. 2 weeks later, Sarah hasn't left. Her suitcases sit half open in my apartment, and her camera lives on my kitchen counter. She makes coffee every morning, too strong, too bitter, but I drink it anyway because it tastes like her laughter. We take long walks through the city, rediscovering pieces of each other. Sometimes we fight about small things, about big ones. But this time we stay. One night, while editing photos on the couch, she looks up and says quietly, I told my parents about you. My heart skips. And they didn't take it well. But I told them it doesn't matter. I told them I'm done apologizing for who I love. I stare at her, pride swelling in my chest. That must have been hard. It was. She smiles faintly. But it was worth it. She shows me the photo she took that morning on the pier, me, laughing in the sunlight, eyes closed, wind in my hair. For the first time in a long time, I look genuinely happy. It's my favorite, she says softly. Why? Because it's the first one where you're not looking at me, she explains. You're looking ahead. I laugh. Maybe that's a good sign. It is. She leans over and kisses my temple. And for the first time in years, I feel completely, undeniably home. Months pass. Seasons shift. Love grows quietly, steadily, like a song finding its rhythm again. Some days were perfect. Some days were a mess. But through it all, we keep choosing each other. One autumn afternoon, Sarah surprises me with an envelope just like the one from the wedding. What's this? I ask, grinning. Open it. Inside is a photograph, black and white, simple, breathtaking. It's me and her, sitting together on the pier. Our hands intertwined. Our faces turned toward the light. On the back she's written just 4 words. No more goodbyes ever. I look up at her, tears stinging my eyes. You kept your promise. She smiles, eyes shining. We both did. Outside, the world hums softly, waves crashing in the distance, gulls calling overhead. And for once there's no fear, no doubt, no running. Just 2 women, finally brave enough to love each other out loud. Because sometimes love doesn't come back to hurt you. Sometimes it comes back to heal what it broke. And when it does, you don't say goodbye. You just hold on and whisper welcome home. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.